1, 2. We're ready for the show. Feel the groove, watch the energy grow. Let the rhythm hit, spreading love up front. Everybody knows it's the vibe we want. Turn up the speakers, let the beat drop. We keep it real, no intention to stop. Yeah. Ooh, grass, waves, words, and friends. Ooh, this ain't the first time, won't be the last time. So grab a friend, tag, text, and tell somebody. Tell somebody. It's waves, words, and friends. Moving to the beat, feel the bassline jam. Snap your fingers, nod your head to the slam. Our souls connected, rhythm never lies. Eyes closed, we rise under city skies. Feel the heartbeat, it's the soul we chase. Every note, every word in this sacred space. Tell somebody, it's a movement we've begun. Waves, word, and friends, the journey's just begun.
This moment, nothing can break us, no can get stop us, whatever brings. This moment, nothing can break us, no can stop us.
When we rise, we're unstoppable, you know. Through trials and storms, together we grow. Every heartbeat that goes in perfect harmony. With faith as our anchor, united we'll be. Yeah, baby.
Nothing can break us, nothing can stop us.
Wait for it, can't shut the door.
This moment, nothing can break us, nothing can stop us.
One rainy day, yeah, yeah.
This moment,
And Chloe left him, he goes down there. Charting new territory, riding our own path, creating new territory, standing on His word. Oh, nothing can stop us. Number ways for face the thing, with nothing just a purpose. Oh yeah. With voice and shout, His word, friend, we conquer our fear. Turning you with unity and faith will always win. Wait for the friend.
nothing can break us, can stop us. Whatever friends shine. This moment, nothing can break us, can stop us. Whatever friends shine. This moment, nothing can break us, nothing can stop us. This moment,
yeah.
break us,
To be fine.
can stop us.
Every breath, just wait, she breathing. And she every breath knows. Every breath, I hold this breath, hold this breath.
Nothing can break
Every breath that's slow, and it's fast. Yeah,
this moment, nothing can break
good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Thank you for coming into the space this morning. So grateful and thankful to be hanging out with each and every one of you. Do me a favor, give me a quick sound check. Just want to make sure that I'm coming through the way that I need to be coming through. We see some folks who have made their way into the comments, into the space. Shakira, thank you for coming in. Jermaine, Verlin, and others who are in the space today. Good to see you, good to see you, good to see you, good to see you. Excited for you to be in this space with us this morning. So do me a favor, tag, text, and tell everybody that you know. Y'all know how we do in this space. It's really simple. If you're over there in any of our spaces, make sure that you're sending it out to everybody that you know. If you're on Facebook, just simply go in the comment section, hit the add tab, the @ symbol. It's going to populate followers. Just click on followers and it'll send it out to everybody that you know. You don't have to go one by one if you don't feel like doing that on this morning. So make sure that you do that. So grateful and thankful to be in this space one more time. And I'm doing what I'm asking you all to do right now. So I'm going to give you some time to do that while we just rock out to this nice song, My Circle. Yeah, that's what it's called, My Circle. So go ahead, everybody, do what I'm asking you to do in this moment, because I'm going to do it as well. Also, I got hanging out with me today. Y'all, come on, make welcome Whitney. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Rodney. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself? How's everything going?
Man, everything's good, man. Woke up this morning. God is great. Happy to be here with y'all, rocking out.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right. So, hey, everybody, we're going out on Facebook. We're going out on YouTube. We're also going out on Twitch. And a little bit later today, we're going to drop some content on Instagram as well as TikTok. So make sure that you get connected in all of our spaces. It's really simple. You can find me anywhere and everywhere on the social media sites. So make sure that you just try to find Wade's Word and Friends right there on YouTube. And if you have not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you go to my personal page, Rodney Wade, and that you subscribe. Or you can go to our Wade's Word and Friends page as well. So everybody do that. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to be in this space with each and every one of you. So make sure, my friends, that you keep the comment section flowing, keep it populated. Don't just be a spectator, be a participator. And the way that we participate in the spaces, we take our finger, we tag, text, and tell somebody. We drop some comments. We say hello. So, hey, let's practice it right now. Everybody show some love to somebody in the space. Specifically, if it's somebody that you don't know, show them some love. Just say good morning. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Hey, let's rock out together this morning. Yeah, let's do that. So, Whip, what's been up with you? What's been up with you? What's been happening with you?
Oh, man, you know, I'm okay. I've been out of work for like 2 weeks now. I hurt my hip at work, so y'all pray for me, because you know that age kicking in a little bit. You know what I mean? Got the little limp going on with a crutch, but well, with everything else, everything's been good. I actually, I don't know what's going on with 2025, man. I've never been to so many funerals, but yesterday we put to rest one of my aunts, like her ex-husband, and the repast was a real celebration of life. So it was just good being around everybody, getting to see everybody we didn't see in a while. And we definitely celebrated John Trent yesterday, man. He was there with us in spirit, and man, we had a good time.
Okay,
Well, you know.
okay. I did see a post of that. First of all, our condolences over here. Yes, 2025 has been a little bit crazy, but you know, we just keep on keeping on. I think that's the goal, and we just keep on trusting, we keep on believing, and so grateful that you all had an opportunity to share with one another, to celebrate one another, to celebrate this thing called life, and then also to cherish the memory of your loved one. It sounds like it was a good old time, and so, you know, in spite of the situation.
Right.
So thankful that you put a good spin on that, a positive spin on that. And so really appreciate you for that. Now, in terms of the injury and everything, yeah, you are right?
Yeah.
You got to work
Oh,
on the body mechanics. You can't just be reaching and all of that stuff no more. You got to be careful. You know what I mean?
But you know what's crazy how it happens. So on Mondays I have unfamiliar areas. So I was driving through a parking lot. You know how the Northeast is, man. When parking lots, once that salt get down, I hit a big pothole. I popped up, but while I was driving, but I didn't feel anything. And I got up, had a little limp going on. Then 3 stops later, my whole leg went out. And I just started physical therapy this week. And what he's saying is that my right leg is a little bit shorter than my left leg right now, which means my hip bone kind of shifted a little bit. So I'm in physical therapy to get that back right. And, walk tall, man. I'm too young to be walking around with a limp. You know what I mean?
I know that's right. I've been there. I know what it is to experience that. And it can be kind of, at least for me, in my context, it was painful because it just felt like there was a separation there, right? From the hip to the leg.
Yes.
And then that kind of sharp pain that kind of goes up. But I'm glad you're in physical therapy. Get all of the physical therapy that you need and just go slow. Yeah, because I think it's called like a hip corner or something to that extent. So glad that you're feeling a little bit better and you're in good spirits about it. But that's crazy. You just hit a pothole, popped up in the air, came back down in an awkward position probably. But hey, I'm glad that you're hanging out with me today. Everybody show Wit some love this morning. Send her some good energy, send her some good vibes this morning and all of that good stuff, right?
All of that.
Because y'all know how we do it in this space, right? Good energy is always in order. Yes. Now listen, have y'all tagged, text, and tell somebody this morning yet? I see the comments in the comment section. I see y'all are greeting one another. That's always in order. What's up, Precious? What's up, Jermaine? What's up, Ann Scott? Who else did I miss up in the space as well? Thank you all for coming in. Aisha, thank you for coming into the space as well. So how are we going to do it today? All right. So today we are going to center ourselves. We're also going to give you an opportunity to participate through your sharing and caring. And that's really simple. In this space, we really only ask for $5. So we're going to drop the information on how you can help support what we're doing in this space so we can continue to bring this great content to each and every one of you. So if you're on Facebook, you see a little symbol that says star symbol, just click on that, do 500 stars. That equates to $5. If you're on the YouTube side, just go to the Cash App real quick. Drop $5 on the Cash App. Certainly we would appreciate that. And for some of y'all who need a little help, I just dropped it right there. All of the information on the screen, the various ways that you can give. Make sure that you also listen. We need about 200 more folk to get connected with us on the Ways, Word, and Friends platform on Facebook. So if you have not become a friend, or if you have not liked, make sure that you do that. Make sure that you do that today. Later on, maybe I'll have Wit send out some more, become a friend request and all of that stuff. Make sure that you go ahead and do that real quick. We need about 200 more so that we can create, if you will, a conduit, so we can get stars up on that platform as well. So, hey, don't hesitate. Don't delay. Go ahead and take care of that real quick. Help out your boy. Help out Wit, and certainly we would be appreciative of each and every one of you. You know, as Boosie say, come on, man.
Come on, dog. Come on, man.
So make sure that you're doing that, right? Everybody help us out. Y'all make sure that y'all do that. So not only that, we're also, obviously, I'm going to talk a little bit. We're going to have our discussion on the back end, which we give you an opportunity to come in on camera or off camera and just share with us all of that good stuff. So you'll get an opportunity to do that a little bit later. We got 2 brand new songs right off the press, that we're going to drop this morning for you all today as well. And hey, let us know what you feel about them and all of that good stuff. So we are ready to go. Whit, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. You know I'm
All
excited
right.
for that new music, man.
All
Bring it
right,
on.
so let's get it started. Y'all know what it is. It's Wade's Word and Friends. Let's go.
Mic check 1, 2. We're ready for the show. Feel the groove, watch the energy grow. Let the rhythm hit, spreading love up front. Everybody knows it's the vibe we want. Turn up the speakers, let the beat drop. We keep it real, no intention to stop. Yeah. This ain't the first time, won't be the last time. So grab a friend, tag, text, and tell somebody. Tell somebody. It's Wade's Word and Friends. Moving to the beat, feel the bassline jam. Snap your fingers, nod your head to the slam. Our souls connected, rhythm never lies. Eyes closed, we rise under city skies. Feel the heartbeat, it's the soul we chase. Every note, every word in this sacred space. Tell somebody, it's a movement we've begun. Wade's Word and Friends, the journey's just begun.
Yeah, Wade's Word and Friends. Come on, let's get centered real quick. Right where you are. Just clear your mind, clear your thoughts. Let's get focused on this moment, this space, this opportunity. An opportunity we'll never get again. So let's focus on He who knows all things, He who sees all things, and He who makes all things well. Yeah, if you were tired of church as usual, you're not alone, because we were too. So simply in this space, we try to cultivate an environment where we try to share, where we try to share the love of God that is beyond mistakes, my mistakes, your mistakes, our mistakes. When we engage in true, authentic community, when we're not ashamed to be who we are and whose we are. We've been created to love and created to care and created to share. We've been created for connection and community. And so in this space, we invite you to center yourself. Come on, take a quick breath with me. Breathe it in. The nose, let it out. Release those negative thoughts and that negative energy. Release those things that have tried to wear you down and weigh you down. Come on, one more time. Breathe it in through the nose. Breathe it out. In a world that's chaotic and in a world that is crazy, and in a world even today that seems to no longer make sense, We have a creator who has the capacity to make sense of it all. And so we're grateful for this sacred space and this sacred moment that we have together. A moment to celebrate him, but also a moment to celebrate one another. And so I want to encourage you in this moment that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I want to encourage you in this space that our God is a healer, healer of the mind, healer of the body, and a healer of our spirit. I want to remind you this morning that our God supplies and has the capacity to supply all of our needs. Yes, he walks with us and he talks with us. And he reinforces the fact that we are his own. So can you celebrate that with me this morning? Celebrate our God. Celebrate one another. Celebrate the fact that we're here and that through it all, we don't look like what we've been through. Yeah, I know. If I was in an old church, I would say, I can testify. I know what it means to go through. I know what it means to be burdened. I know what it means to be misunderstood. But I'm so grateful this morning that I found my people, that I found my circle, that I have found those who truly understand what it means to love him and love one another. So in this moment, we're praying for you. We're believing for God's best for you. We're believing that if he is for you, he's more than the world against you. That nothing can stop you, that nothing can block you. Yeah, we're believing that for you. Come on in here a little bit closer with me. Come on, breathe it in. Breathe it out. And for these last 10 seconds, can we just celebrate that? Celebrate knowing that he is good. And celebrating the fact that we are together. Come on, everybody, big that up in this space. Show some love in this space. Come on, big it up in this space. Come on. One more time. Show some love in the comment section. Yeah. I feel all right, Whit. I feel all right.
Oh, yes. It's crazy because I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and he was like, man, I can't start my day without meditation, man. It's so important for us to take that time just to settle ourselves, center ourselves, and just get to a calm place. So thank you for that, Ronnie. That's definitely important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, meditation has been such a wonderful addition to my life, right? It does help to center you. It helps to block out some things. And some people, because, we are believers, some people, get all scary around certain things, but you don't need to be. Praying is just simply brooding, meditating, setting aside, laying things down. And meditation is a good tool to be able to do that, right? To breathe. Because not only in our breathing do we relieve our stresses, but in relieving our stresses, we bring down what my mama and them used to say, our pressure.
Yeah, right.
So even some of you all who are, this is not a medical device, but some of you all who dealing with blood pressure, high blood pressure, and those things, along with what your doctor is recommending, add that addition of breathing into your life. Just taking those calm steps of just centering yourself. You can place your hands on your knees, but get calm, flat-footed, and just breathe.
All right.
Kind of that 5 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it has a way of just soothing and calming your spirit, connecting you to the things that really matter,
All right.
and pushing out those things that don't. So, yeah, I celebrate that today. I celebrate that today.
Yes.
Now, we told you earlier about some ways that you can support via Cash App, also via the STARS mechanism. Also, make sure that you're getting connected in that way as well. Y'all ready for some new music? Let's drop some new music today. So I got 2 songs. One is going to be tied into what I'm going to talk about today. So Lori, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and drop this in the comments section. Go ahead and drop Matthew 6, verses 7 through 13. And I'm going to be reading from the Message version. So go ahead and drop that for me. Matthew chapter number 6. Remember what we've been asking you all to do. We've been asking you to read through the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, at your own time, at your own pace. The goal is not for you to speed read. Some people, they like, oh, I just want to read through the Bible, and they just start from Old Testament to New Testament. I don't think that's good. I think if you're going to start reading your Bible, start in the New Testament. And then once you get an understanding of the New Testament, go back through the Old Testament, because the Old Testament kind of ties, the New Testament gives you the full framework of where you are today. The Old Testament kind of tells you where we are, where we were, what we've come out of, how we've come out of law into grace. But if you start with law, it'll mess you up. So make sure that you start with the gospel so that you can start with grace. And some of the stuff in the Old Testament, yeah, along with the New Testament, but a lot of it in the Old Testament,
That law get you, man.
it was bloody. It was bloody. So make sure that you start in the New Testament. And so we're reading through the gospel. So don't speed read. It's not just to get through it, but it's to get understanding. And all of our get understanding. So make sure that you're reading along with us. And again, don't speed read, Even if you just do 1 or 2 verses a day, do that. Read to get some understanding. And so got 2 songs I'm going to drop today. Let's drop this first one. And just to give you a little background in terms of where this song was birthed, I was just sitting around and just being reflective, as I typically do. And I was just thinking through this kind of notion of one day at a time. You all may have heard me in the space say, hey, I just want to be the best person that I can be today, right? I want to let go of what was yesterday. I want to be the best person that I can be today. But even if I mess up today, then tomorrow, I just want to be the best person that I can be tomorrow. And so I started thinking through that, thinking about that a lot. And what was birthed out of that was this little joint right here called One Day at a Time. So y'all know what we do. We're gonna drop the 2 songs. I want to know which one you like the best. I want to hear your comments on it. You can drop it in the comment section. If you really like the song, I'll drop that link. You can come in and on camera and share what you thought about the song, what you like about the song. So let's go. Here we go. So I'm gonna drop 2 of them. Here's the first one. One Day at a Time. Let's go.
Ways, words, and friends. One day, one steed, one breath, one try underneath this endless sky. One day at a time, I'll find my way. One day at a time. come what may. One day at a time. Yesterday's way I shed and leave, inspired by the love I believe. One day at a time. Rise above the grind, finding peace of mind and rhythm we bind. One day at a time. Let the music flow, healing the soul. Let the good times grow. One day at a time. Take a stand with faith and hope and land. One day at a time. Shine and shine night. Sunrise cracks the window pane. Another day begins again. Yesterday is done and gone. A brand new dawn, a hopeful song. Anxiety creeps in my head. Worries whisper, fears are spread. But I breathe deep and I will say, I face this day, just this one day that we'll see. And I'll bring to see. One day at a time. That's all I need. Planting tiny seeds of hope and freedom. One day at a time. A step will start, mending my fractured heart, playing my part. One day at a time. The journey is long, but I find strength to be strong. Yeah. One day at a time. So I ask, completing this simple task. The mountain seems so high and steep. The promises I struggle to keep. Sometimes I stumble, sometimes I fall, but I get back up and then give all. No need to fret about tomorrow's pain. Focus on the sunshine after the rain. It's one small thing I'll try to do. See it through and start anew.
One day at a time.
I'm definitely feeling that, man. We went from the meditation to that. Like the song started out so strong, but it's so mellow and smooth. And the images you added with it, perfect, man.
Yeah.
Great song.
One day at a time, one day at a time. Let me know if you was feeling that in the comment section real quick. We did drop the link, so you can pop in if you want to share anything about that particular song. One day at a time. One day at a time. Now, this second one is really based on what I'm kind of going to talk about today. But as I was thinking about, my talk today, this passage, Matthew 6, just kind of stuck out to me. And I was just inspired to write something about it. And so this one is simply entitled, Teach Us to Pray. Teach Us to Pray. Had a little more flavor to it. That one was a little slower. So y'all let me know what you feel about this one. Let me see. Okay. The last one, Shakira says she's feeling it. Ann Scott said you have done it again. Jermaine says 100. Lori says on time song. Precious says love it. Verlin says one day at a time. I see perfect song. I just Ann Scott says she just told her grandson one day at a time as well. All right. I see y'all feeling that one and everything like that. So, all right. Here's the next one. And once this is played, I'll go into my quick talk, and then we'll have our discussion. This one is just simply called "Teach Us to Pray." Let me know if you're feeling it. Here we go.
A promise made, a Father in heaven reveal who you are. Set the world right, do what's best. Not just above, so below. I the ground, soaking in silence, a sacred sound. Teach us to pray when hope starts to fade. A lifeline of faith, a promise made. We see the suffering, the pain, and the fear, uncertainty with so loud, so clear. We long for connection, but not hand to hold tight, tight. These are the comfort and guiding light. On the ground, soaking in silence, a sacred sound. Teach us to pray when hope starts to fade. A lifeline of faith, one friend. You can pray very simply like this. Our Father in heaven, reveal who you are. Send the word right to us best ways. Keep us alive with free square appeals. Keep us forgiving with you and forgiving others. Keep us safe from ourselves and the devil. You're in charge. You can do anything you want. Your blazing beauty. Just pray like you on the ground. Soak inside, a sacred sound. Teach us to pray. Oh, stop, pray. A lifeline of faith, a promise made. Teach us to pray with voices so teach us, oh, teach us to listen to the answer the sweet. Oh, just pray until we believe.
Teach us to pray. Teach us to pray. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know when I'm like, you're gonna come back, but like music makes me dance and I want to get up on my chair, but I'm like, I don't want to miss it when I come. If I get up right now, say, you know, I got the best of hip, but man, these feet was over here tapping, boy. I like that. I like that, man. It really,
that's right.
it made my soul happy, man. I was ready to get up and dance. That's
yeah. I feel that. King BBBB. I'm here and I'm feeling blessed this morning as well. Thank you for coming into the space as well. Man, that was a nice little groove. I just want to run that one back. I actually like the first one better, but this second one made me, move my feet. So, hey, which one do you like better, the first one or the second one? Go ahead and drop it in the comments section. Jermaine says, hey, another one. But I just want to, just rock out to that one more time. Teach us to pray. Here we go.
A promise made. A Father in heaven, reveal who you are. Set the world right. Do what's best. Not just above, so below. Sound. Teach us to pray when hope starts to fade. A lifeline of faith, a promise made. We see the suffering.
Teach us to pray. Teach us to pray.
I think I heard Jonathan French guitar in the background of that song. I was listening. I said, "You and John got a studio."
You know what? Yeah. You know what? I made a video with that, but I just heard you say you wanted to bop your feet. So I just downloaded just the track real quick. And so I don't know about y'all, but hey, yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Teach us to pray when hope
Come on.
starts to fade.
It's all right to bop. We do that in the space. Especially if we hear some music we like. Come on. I know y'all feeling this one because I'm feeling it. Come on now.
So below.
Hey.
So
enough for that, y'all. That's enough. I'm getting too hype. I'm getting too hype over there. Let me drop that one on up out of here. Lori, go ahead and drop that in the comment section for us one more time. Matthew chapter number 6, verses 7 through 13. And I'm going to be reading from the Message version, y'all. The Message version. I'm not going to be long. Again, we're going to give you an opportunity on the back end to come into our discussion. We'll drop the link one more time here shortly to give you an opportunity. But Matthew, chapter number 7, verse number 13. Chapter number 6, starting with verse number 7. Now, the context of this particular text is found around simplicity, really. It's talking about simplicity. Kind of invokes this kind of notion where the Pharisees and the Sadducees were kind of putting on. And the disciples were really trying to figure out, how do we get connected with God through prayer? And so here is Jesus basically saying to them, it's simple. He says, don't pray like them, but pray like this. Matter of fact, he says that there in verses 1 through 6. It says when you pray, prayer should focus or shift from you to him, if you will. And so he simply says these words. Verse number 7, he says, the world is full of so-called prayer warriors who are actually prayer ignorant. They're full of formulas and programs and advice, peddling techniques for getting what you want from God. He says, don't fall for that nonsense. This is your Father you are dealing with, and he knows better than you what you need. With a God like this loving you, you can pray very simply like this. Our Father in heaven, reveal who you are. Set the world right. Do what's best above and below. Keep us alive with 3 square meals. Keep us forgiven with you and forgiving others. Keep us safe from ourselves and the enemy. You're in charge. You can do anything you want. You're blazed in beauty. Yes, yes, yes. In prayer, there is a connection between what God does and what we do. And so it's not really about form or fashion, not even really about the kind of words that you use, even though I think that prayer requires words. Here, when asked how they should pray, he doesn't tell them silent prayers. He says, use these words. So our prayers should, in fact, include words. But my friends, they don't have to be lofty words. I remember coming up in church and the old deacons and the deacon boards, they would be down at the altar and they would, sometimes I felt like they was praying for like 30 minutes to an hour and they wailing, you know, singing their prayers and all of that stuff. And but here Jesus says that our prayers should be simplistic. They don't have to be lofty because it's really about you getting connected with him and then also getting in touch with you. And so he says here in the text, it's a pattern, but it's not necessarily something that you have to do or use these exact words every time that you pray. Use some words, but they don't have to be these same words. You remember when Jesus tells Peter that he can get off the boat, and Peter gets off the boat and then takes his eye off of Jesus, if you will. He starts to panic and he starts to fall into the water. And he just gives a one word, a 2-word prayer. He says, save me, help me. You dig what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be lofty. You don't have to be putting on for folk. And so he gives a premise. Notice what he says. He says, first, you need to make him the center of it all. In other words, we never start with us, what we want, what we need, what we like. No matter what words you use, just make sure that you start with him. Show some gratefulness, gratitude for who he is. You know, we used to sing a song a couple years ago. All of the glory belongs to you. All of the glory belongs to you. You deserve it. Now, we sang that as a song, but that's simply a prayer. You are invoking his presence into your space. You are centering yourself around he who knows all things, he who sees all things, and he who makes all things well. And so he says that there early in the text. I'm in the text, y'all. That's the Bible, y'all.
That's the Bible, y'all.
He says, start with him. He says, our Father who is in heaven, reveal who you are. Those are such wonderful and marvelous words to me. Reveal who you are. Not religious dogma, not who some folk say that you are. Reveal to me in this moment who you are. Because if you're not careful, in your prayer life, you will just start to mimic what you heard others say. You know, some of our baseline of understanding is not necessarily what we read in the Bible, but because we heard some preacher say it. And if you don't know by now, sometimes what someone is saying may not necessarily be what it is. And so when I enter into that sacred place and trying to cultivate that sacred space, always start with him, because you want him to reveal himself to you. That also speaks about intimacy. You know, when you enter into a conversation with somebody that you love, what you're trying to do is cultivate a space of intimacy. where they can share their heart and you can share your heart. You know, in layman's terms, what we call that now is a safe space, safe place. And so I start with him because by starting with him, what I'm doing is creating a safe space. But not only for him to reveal himself, but now for me to reveal myself, my true self, my authentic self. So prayer is not a time for me to feel like I need to put on airs. I can show up in my authentic self, in my authentic truth. And I don't know about you, but that's so wonderful and that's so marvelous to be able to show up in your authentic self in a world where everybody wants you to be fake. He invites you to show up in your authentic self. And so we always start with him, reveal who you are. Acknowledge who he is, God of the universe, creator of this world, creator of all things. He who spoke and that which was not became. That's right. And it's about having a true conversation with him. And then it is now from that place where I acknowledge who he is. I express who he is. That I move from him to gratitude for what he's done. Give us this day our daily bread. In the Message version, it says, keep us alive with 3 square meals. Now I'm moving from him to making, as the Bible says, my requests known unto him. Thank you for this day. Thank you for providing for me. And please, please, please don't just center it around you. In showing your gratitude, make sure that you funnel it in such a way because you acknowledge and understand that you are a conduit. What God is doing for you, he is doing it through you. So thank you for what you've done, not just for me, but for those who are connected to me, those who are around me, my circle. I don't want anybody in my circle, one, who don't want me to be praying for them and who won't pray for me. I don't want anybody in my circle who is not grateful for what God has done for me, and then in turn, I'm grateful for what God is doing for them. Yeah, I don't want anybody in my circle who has a spirit of hateration, because sometimes folk don't mind you doing good. They just don't want you to do better than them. But what Jesus says in this prayer, we ought to cultivate a space where we're not in competition with one another, but where we are celebrating one another for what he has done for all of us. That's the true definition of what it means to be in community one with another. And a part of that is forgiveness, which is tied in with what I talk about a lot in here, grace. See, a lot of folk want grace for themselves, but they can't find grace for one another. And here in this prayer, what he teaches us, if you want grace, if you want forgiveness, then you got to learn how to have grace and forgiveness for others. Notice what he says. He says, keep us forgiven with you and forgiving others. Please, please, please don't be like some of these folk running around in some of these spaces. They want to be forgiven all the time, but they ain't got no forgiveness for nobody else. Still yet holding grudges from 20 years ago, but yet running around in the church, running, shouting, spitting, and dancing, but some of the most meanest folk in the world. If you want God to forgive, you've got to be the type of person who will forgive. I don't want nobody in my circle who don't understand some days life be lifing, who don't understand some days I'm not always operating in my P's and Q's. I don't want anybody in my circle who don't understand that there is nothing perfect about me. I need forgiveness just like you need forgiveness. I need grace just like you need grace. So he goes from him to us collectively in our circle and how we navigate with one another through gratitude, through appreciation, through understanding, through grace, acknowledging our weaknesses. Yeah, we need forgiving. Acknowledging those who are connected to us, they need forgiven, to be forgiven. I need grace. They need grace. But then he says, but you got to make room for others to possibly be a part of your circle. And then finally, notice what he says. He says, but also keep me safe from me. See, there's an acknowledgement in this prayer where I'm saying, or where Jesus is trying to get us to understand sometimes our minds play tricks on us. Yeah, notice what he says. He says, keep us safe from ourselves. Sometimes in the heat of emotions, our minds start to play tricks on us and we get out of character. We say some things we should not say. We possibly do some things we should not do. That's humanity. That's the human in all of us. You remember when he told Peter, he said, I'm praying for you because the devil desires to sift you as wheat, but I pray that you fail not. This is what he's talking about in here. There is an acknowledgement that some days we get out of character. Some days when life be lifing and stress gets heavy, we lose sight of what really is important and what is really meaningful. Come on in here closer. We all do. So he says, keep us safe from ourselves. But not only that, keep us safe from those who would try to hinder us, those who would try to hurt us. The old folk used to say in their prayers, put a hedge of protection around me. Yeah, keep me safe from those who would try to intentionally do me no harm. Because here's the reality. Some folk, no matter what you do, they're going to be hating on you. No matter what you say, they ain't going to have nothing good to say about you. No matter what you go, no matter where you go, they don't feel like you belong there. No matter how high you ascend, they going to try to bring you back down. He says, keep me. Pray that he would keep you safe from yourselves, but also others who would mean you harm. And that's the key. That's the key. Harm. Some things don't mean me harm that I'm tripping off, but those things that bring harm, he's saying, Lord, keep me safe from that. And then finally, after all of those things, remember that's centering around us, around those who are connected with us, how we deal with one another. Then he pulls us right back to him. Before I break from him, before I say ready, set, go, there is an acknowledgement while we're all on the same team, he's in charge. Y'all ain't picking up what I'm putting down. That's the Bible,
That's the
y'all.
Bible, y'all.
While we all on the same team. Yeah, I'm not bigger or badder than you. You're not bigger or badder than me. But in the final analysis, it brings it all the way back to us that he's in charge. And you've got to come to grips with that. You've got to come to grips with his sovereignty. And that just simply means that God can do whatever God wants to do when God wants to do it. Yeah, if you're going to be a believer, you got to come to grips with that. That's a hard saying. That's a tough saying, but he brings it all the way back to him. He can do whatever he wants to do concerning you. Now, I know that's tough for some of y'all because all of your life in the peripheral, in your baseline, you've been told, that he'll give you everything that you need, some 30, some 60, some 100-fold. But here's the reality. Can you stand the rain? Yeah. Can you stand, as he had to teach Job, can you stand the rain? Job is not in his predicament because he did anything bad, because he did anything wrong. He's in that predicament because God in his sovereignty said to the enemy, have you tried my servant Job? See, some things you ain't in because you're a bad person, because you did anything wrong, you said anything wrong. Some things you're in because it's not really about you. It's about what God is trying to do in the earth. And you become that living testimony of the fact that he's real. Yes, I know that he's real. My God is real because I feel him deep down in my soul. Anybody picking up what I'm putting down this morning? And so you've got to come to this place where you say God is in control. And then you just end that thing with a yes. Because all of the promises in Christ Jesus are yes and amen. And here's the reality, my friends. When you say amen, all you are simply saying is yes. I agree with your will and I agree with your way. When you say amen, that's all you're saying. You're saying, yes, I'll go where you want me to go and I'll do what you want me to do. I'll say what you want me to say. That's all you're simply saying. You're saying, yes, my answer is yes to this moment. My answer is yes to this situation. My answer is yes to the calling that you've placed on my life. My answer is yes. And I'm not talking about all of these dogmatic things that folk be trying to put on you around don't do this and don't do that. You notice in this text around prayer, there is nothing in this passage that speaks to don't do this and don't do that. It's just simply a yes around God, I love you. You rule and you reign. Yes, God, I'm grateful because of all the things that you've done for me and through me. Yes, even when I'm in the valley, you are there. Even when I'm on the mountaintop, you are there. Yes. Even knowing that while all of my situations may not be good, you are good. Yes. That sometimes my money will look funny, but you are yet a great provider. Yes. Sometimes my body gets out of joint and gets out of place at no fault of my own, but my answer will still be yes. because you have the capability and the capacity to heal my body. Sometimes my mind wants to play tricks on me and try to convince me because of this current situation that I'm in that you have left me. But my answer comes back to yes. You will never leave us nor forsake us. And I wonder this morning, will your answer be yes? Will your answer be yes to his will and to his ways? Will your answer be yes when you find yourself in a situation that feels uncomfortable, but yet you know that God is there with you? Can you find a yes? Because prayer is just simply a connection between what God does and what he wants you to do. So just take it one day at a time. Yeah, let your yes be one day at a time. Yeah, lift up your voice and praise to him one day at a time. Open up your heart to him one day at a time.
Ways, words, and friends. One day, one steed, one breath, one try underneath this endless sky. One day at a time, I'll find my way, and at a time, come what may. One day at a time. Yesterday's way I shed and leave, inspired by the love I believe. One day at a time, rise above the grind, finding peace of mind and rhythm divine. One day at a time, let the music flow, healing the soul, let the good times grow. One day at a time, I take a stand with faith and hope. One day at a time, shine and shine light, yeah. Sunlight cracks the window pane. Another day begins again. Yesterday is done and gone. A brand new dawn, a hopeful song. Anxiety creeps in my head. Worries whisper, fears are spread. But I breathe deep and I will say, I face this day, just this one day that we'll see, and I think to see. One day at a time, that's all I need. Planting tiny seeds of hope and freedom. One day at a time, a step will start, mending my fractured heart, playing my part. One day at a time, the journey is long, but I find strength to be strong. Yeah. One day at a time. So I ask, completing this simple task. And friends, the mountain seems so high and steep. The promises I struggle to keep. Sometimes I stumble, sometimes I fall, but I get back up and then give my all. No need to fret about tomorrow's pain. Focus on the sunshine after the rain. Just one small thing I'll try to do, see it through, it's all anew. Where's word and friend? One day, one step, one breath, one try.
one day at a time. Big up.
Yes, yes.
Whitney is
I
back
think that
with
might be my
us.
new favorite song, man. I love that song.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to drop the link real quick, give you an opportunity to come in and share with us. Again, you don't have to come in on camera if you don't like. And we're here to listen to you, talk to you, share with you. So whatever is on your mind, if you want to talk about what we just talked about, that's fine. So yeah, let me drop that link for you one more time. You can also drop your comments in the comments section. Certainly we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Let's go ahead and drop that in real quick. Send that out. All right, the link has been dropped, and you don't have to do anything special or anything fancy. Just click on the link, turn on your camera if you like. If you don't want your camera on, don't turn it on, and it'll pop you in on the audio side. It's really simple, so you don't have to download anything or anything at all. And Scott said that song is in her head right now. I heard that.
Right.
So what's on your mind? What's your thoughts? What you feeling right now in this moment?
First of all, I would like to thank you for great teaching today, man. That was awesome. And it's like, to preach, people think you gotta do this hooting and hollering, man. But what you just blessed us with was a great teaching. So big ups to you. But my thoughts were, yes, applaud for Ronnie, y'all. Give it up for him, man. Well, my thoughts go back to us talking about meditation this morning, how it's very important, as well as when you pray, like, we all, throughout the day may pray in our head, but take that time out to open your mouth and actually give him thanks. Take that time, meditate, and pray out loud. It feels good too. I'm gonna say, like, when I pray out loud, you could feel it. You could feel him, feel his presence. And I'm just grateful for that. As well as like to have gratitude. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is show gratitude just for him waking me up. So when I say that, they be like, how you doing? God woke me up this morning. Back in the day, we used to hear that all the time, but I know the true meaning of that. Like just able to wake up and thank God that I have vision, that I can hear, that I'm in my right mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just your teaching today, I'm speechless. I was being a student over here. I took a couple of notes, you know what I mean? But it's very important for us to create that relationship, and how we do that is to connect with him, put him first, center ourselves around him, and he will do everything you can think and or imagine. He's there, and he will always be there. And thank him in the good times and the bad times, and just keep praying, man. I don't know how to just emphasize how much prayer works. Like I could almost stub my toe, and I don't. And I'm like, thank you, Lord. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the little things that actually really matter, like something that like can be minimal in your day, but just to be thankful for that. And that connection with him just gives me, this positive attitude. And also, like you said about forgiving, we ask him to forgive us all the time. If you holding on to something and, talk to God about it. Like you said, people hold grudges for 20 years. Yeah. You holding on to something that's weighing you down. We got to let it go. Give it to him and let him sort that out for you. That's what he's there for. And him being just like we depend on our parents, he is our father. He is here for us, and he's going to make sure that we're good all the time. So keep praying, keep that gratitude, be grateful. Like your situation may be a way that you don't like. And like they always say, if somebody's situation way worse. And I feel like the worst people situation is the ones that don't know the Lord. So when you can lend a ear to somebody, give an encouraging word, even if they don't know how to pray, teach somebody how to pray. What you learned today, bring that to other people. Tell people that it's okay to pray. And it don't take all that. You don't got to pray for 3 hours. Just give him thanks. Give him gratitude. And, show him you love him. That's all I got to say.
Man, them some bars, yo.
No, that's true. I want to piggyback on something that you said. forgiveness is really more about you releasing than looking for any type of action from the other person, right? And I say that because I don't want to have any type of Pollyanna view around this. What I'm simply saying is learn the capacity to forgive, but that doesn't mean that you have to continue in that relationship, whether it's friendship or whatever it is, right? That if somebody did you dirty, you have to learn how to forgive in that context. But that doesn't mean that they are now entitled
Right.
to your space. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's the most difficult thing that we find because we're holding things instead of releasing things because we equate if I forgive, then that means I gotta be, for lack of better terms, nice. No, that doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that they now get to have access back to you, right? You get to determine that. You get to determine that. But in our circle, it's a lot of times we get into these long things because we're falling out over minimal things. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I remember back in the day, folks used to fall out in certain contexts because they think somebody always singing the solo, or I remember somebody fell out with me because I was like, no, I don't want those old white usher outfits and black suits. Put on some jeans and some t-shirts. That's cool with me. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
these minimal things, but those real deep things that hit home, I've got to learn how to forgive, but that doesn't mean that person is still entitled to be navigating in my space,
Right.
in that capacity. And we have to be authentic and true about that, right? And sometimes in our religious jargon, sometimes we won't be authentic and true about that. And so we'll be playing, right? We're holding grudges. We don't like that person. And instead of, as the Bible tells us to do, try to bring that to a resolution, whether that's internally or externally, we just hold on to it. And it's actually killing us because some folks have moved on, ain't even thinking about it any longer. And so again, we have to, forgiveness is what I'm going to do, but I don't have to let you back into my space. And listen, even from where I sit, I go back to, us a lot of times. One of the most frustrating things for me is when I see like things that happen to us, and I'm talking about us as black people or whatever, and we like quick to run out there to the camera talking about we forgive. I got to be honest. I think about that moment when that joker went into that church and he shot up all of those folk and them folk running out talking about I forgive. I don't know if I would have had the capacity in that moment to be,
Right.
to be talking like that. You just did what to somebody I love, and you expect me to come out here because I go to this church and be talking about I forgive in that moment? No. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just the reality. But we've been so taught to think that forgiveness means bringing somebody back into our space when sometimes we just got to be honest and say, I'm not there yet.
Yes.
I'm getting to that place. I'm trying to get to that place. And if I get to that place, that doesn't mean that I'm embracing you back into my space, right? Because when those breakdowns happen now, we have to reestablish relationships. And that takes time. So,
Right.
so I just want us to, I'm always talking about being authentic and being true. So that doesn't mean you got to be hating on people. I think one of the things that frustrate people the most about me is when those situations have happened in my life, I don't hold grudges. I forgive, but that doesn't mean that you get to be back in my space. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be trying to chase you down to get back in my space, and so that's the thing that I want to share with, be authentic and be true with where your heart is. And then you can navigate through that forgiving process a little bit better versus trying to put on a front around something, and it's just eating you up, because you're not being authentic and true, right? So yeah, I went on a little rant, but I hope people get the point that I'm picking up. You follow what I'm saying? I love Jesus, but sometimes I struggle with people, and sometimes people struggle with me, and that's the process of that, right? That's the process of that. Yeah. All right, we put the
All
link
right.
up. You want to add anything on that? I think I caused you to get a
Yeah.
little quiet.
No,
on that.
yeah. 'Cause I was just thinking about also when you were talking about your circle, just keeping people around that match your energy with that positive energy, because you want to protect your peace but also protect your energy. And some people feel like even with family members, like that you have to be around them. You can limit that time if that person doesn't fit your energy. So we gotta stop. Well, I know I've stopped allowing people to be in my space that don't have the capacity to be like a positive person per se, or be on the same page. And I found that that's okay with me. I'd rather stay away from you than to have you in my space and like just being ignorant or whatever the case may be. So when you talked about that earlier, I'm just thinking like, we gotta watch the people we surround ourselves with. We gotta watch the people we conversate with, and we just have to watch like all the places that we walk into. If you don't feel right, or you don't feel the energy, and you don't feel like you should be somewhere, just we gotta stay away from that. And that's what I love about our
Man,
circle
them
here.
some bars, yo.
That we could come here and be authentic with each other and have real conversations. You can't do that with everybody. So protect yourself, protect your energy, and the things you have to stay away from, step back, reevaluate, get into that meditation and pray. God is there for you. I
Yeah,
just want
there's definitely a connection between time and energy, right? And
right.
so, what I'll say a lot of times is I don't want to waste my time with people who don't value my energy,
Right.
right? Um, because if one doesn't value or trying to cultivate that type of energy, it can drain your time. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes.
And kill your energy. And so I agree with that. And for me, one of those is like people who just won't be, authentic. And that's personal for me because I spent a lot of years feeling like I had to be a certain type of way for people. But all the while it was draining my energy and killing my time. You follow what I'm saying? And
Yes.
so for me that's really important. And I don't want anybody to get caught up in what I was caught up in, from that standpoint of always feeling like you got to put on for folks. But that does nothing but just drain you,
Drain.
and it kills the vibe, kills the good energy because everybody is pretending. You know what I mean? But
Right.
there is something refreshing and reviving about not being mean, but just being authentic and true to who you are and whose you are. And those are the kind of folks I want to rock with. I don't want you to feel like you got to pretend when you're around me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm not going to pretend around you as much as you may want me to. I remember one lady came up to me and she's like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand you. I don't understand you. You could, be doing this, that, and the third. If you would just play the game. And I'm like, yo, I just refuse to play those games anymore. I would just rather be authentically me and not try to front for you, because all that end up doing is just killing me. You know what I
For
mean?
real. And
That's what that end up doing.
it's
Yeah.
harder to front, man, versus
Yeah.
being your true authentic
Yeah.
self. But you put so much work into trying to fit in with other people, man. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's just draining.
Yeah, it just becomes draining. And so that's what I want to encourage people to do. Walk in your authentic self, understand there is a love of God that is beyond your mistakes, and that connections matter. To your point, connections matter. And so it's not really for me about the size. Some people for a long time, people talking about the size, smaller and everything like that. And I think some of that could be true because for so long, there's very few people you could be real and authentic with. But if you But if you establish a culture where you can be real and authentic in, then you can actually broaden your horizons because folks who are coming into your space understand that you're going to be, authentic and truth, and you're not looking for them to front for you, and they don't expect you to front for them. You understand what I'm saying? And
Right.
so I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for what we're cultivating in this space as well. And so yeah. All right, we dropped the link. I don't see anybody who want to come into the link this morning. Let me see the comments that we have. Precious says, "Be authentic and true." I get that. Jermaine says his circle is small. What else? And Scott, yeah, that's true. I've always kind of been different. Yeah. And Jermaine says, "Just be you." That's it. Period. I get that. Yep. I get that. Great comments from everyone. I'm just looking back through to see if I missed anyone. Yeah. Also, Lori said in terms of you, Whitney, that you was preaching a little while ago. Yeah, she was, but she had them bars.
Man, them some bars, yo.
Appreciate that. All right, we are out of here. Whitney, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you. Get connected.
Hey, y'all can find me on Facebook, Whitney Sade Chappelle, and on Instagram, Whitney Sade Chappelle. I had to switch the name up real quick so y'all can find me if y'all looking for me. That's gonna be my trade name. My whole name is so famous because I'm gonna be famous too. Y'all can find me there.
I know that's right. I ain't mad at you. Yeah, talk that talk. You
Hey,
know?
manifesting it, man.
Talk that talk. I heard that. Hey, I'm Rodney. I can be found on all the social medias, like social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok. Again, we're going to drop some content, some shorts on Instagram and on TikTok a little bit later. So make sure that you get connected in all of our spaces. Make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and also on Facebook, the Ways, Word, and Friends platform. We need about 200 people to make sure that you go ahead and become, a friend over there. So if you have not done it, this is something that you can do. If you have not, dropped a little $5 and everything, you want to do something free, go ahead over there and do that. Go over there and do that in all of those spaces. We're also on Twitch. So get connected in all of our spaces. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'm just going to do a quick little glance again to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Thank you so much, Mr. Chappelle. You're not wasting your time. We value your insight and time. I appreciate that. And Scott is telling everybody to have a blessed week. I'm going to drop this up here because Lori, drop that link on how you can give and all of that good stuff. So go ahead and put something on it. We
Put some on it.
all of that good stuff. And let's get up out of here. What you want to get out of? What you want to go out on? Whitney, what song you want to go out on? Let me see.
Oh, let me hear that elevate.
You want to hear the Elevate? Okay.
Yeah, let me hear that
See
elevate.
if I can.
Wait, hold on. No, I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna switch it. The first song today.
First song today. All right. We just played that one day at a time. You want to hear the Teach Us to Pray?
Yeah. Let's hit that real quick. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that one on our way out. All right. Love y'all. Talk to you soon.
All right, love y'all. Have a good week.
A promise made, a father in heaven reveal who you are. Set the world right, do what's best. Not just above, so below. I'm lost in the world with the world in the haze, searching for answers in these modern days. My heart's overflowing with silent plea. But the words won't come lost inside of me. Like you on the ground, soaking in silence, a sacred sound. Teach us to pray when hope starts to fade. A lifeline of faith, a promise made. We see the suffering, the pain, and the fear, uncertainty with so loud, so clear. We long for connection, but not hand to hold tight. Be the comfort and us alive with free square heels. Keep us forgiving with you and forgiving others. Keep us safe from ourselves and the devil. You're